hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And today we're doing another Get Fit With Me series, Yoga Edition. And as I have promised, and I said this before, I'm finally going to review Jessalyn Stanley from Underbelly. And for those who don't know who that is kind of the famous Black plus size yogi instructor who's been featured in a lot of commercials. She's been throughout the media because, you know, she's a plus size woman who does yoga, and she makes yoga for plus size people. And I've been wanting to check her out for so long, and I finally did find, because, okay, I'll be honest, full transparency, I did not know this lady's name for a very, very long time. I knew her face, and she's been in multiple different YouTube areas as far as channels, but like not her own channel. She's been like on the health channel. She's been on like the Cosmo channel, because, you know, she's known. She's like that girl. But they never had, I promise, and maybe I just missed it, or maybe I forgot. I never saw her name in it. I just always just saw her face, like, oh my gosh, that's that lady. Because I think she was like in a Secrets commercial or some type of commercial years ago where she was doing yoga. Basically, one of the forefronts of, you know, being, hey, just because I am not your conventional size doesn't mean I can't do the things I do. And she was doing some advanced yoga poses, being a plus size girl. So I remember her, and she's that too. So I remembered her, but I just could not figure out what her name was to find out to see if she has a channel. And I was perusing the YouTube streets, and I finally found her. Look what I be doing. Look what I be doing. I be looking. I still be looking. Your girl still be looking. But this practice today, I'm about to cheat here. We're going to do. It is a 15-minute yoga for tight hips and lower back pain for beginner and plus. So it is catered to if you're a little bit on the heavier side, or if you're a little thickums. I'm going to say you're a little bit thickums, because who doesn't like a little bit thick, right? Anyway, so, but yeah, this is going to be the practice that we're doing today. And apparently her studio is called Underbelly, and she's wearing her merch all on the video. So as you can tell, I cannot even contain myself. I'm super excited that we get to do her routine. And the other reason why I'm kind of excited is I have lower back pain right now, because a little bit of life update. I've been working through back pains and getting work done to fix my back pains, as far as like getting really, really heavy therapeutic sports massages to get that worked out. But it was upper back pain. But right now, some of it has moved down to my lower back. And also, I did do squats for the first time in like months, so that probably didn't help. So the combination of those two things, I think the pain and what I have going on tightness wise is trying to leave the body. So it's a good thing. It's trying to leave, but right now it's stuck in the lower back. So I'm hoping that this routine will help get it out of there. Anyway, I'm done rambling, but you can tell I'm really excited. Let's get into it. Start today's practice in a downward facing dog position. From the downward facing dog position, we are going to get into a three-legged dog, holding it for a little bit, into a pigeon pose, and we're going to be holding that for some time, because in today's practice we are basically doing hip openers, and most of it's focused on versions of a pigeon pose. So we're going to be doing that on both sides, and in between doing that on both sides, we also are going to be being in a kneeling position as a resting pose, not a child's pose, but a kneeling position. And then once we do the traditional pigeon pose on both sides, we then will go to a seated pigeon pose on each side, where you have the option of just staying upright or bending. And then from there, like a version of a happy baby pose. And after that, that's pretty much a practice. It's a pretty quick and simple and easy practice, but a lot of the poses are just holding it, but there's not that many poses. So enjoy. Hi, so that concludes the video for today. How I would rate that, and maybe I'm being biased. That was a 10. That was a 10 out of 10. It really was. Because I'll be honest, it wasn't like, there really wasn't much to it. All we did for yoga, for the most part, and you'll see in the narration, was we just did hip openers. And they were like this pretty easy hip openers. Well, easy as far as getting into, not so much getting out of. But you probably, I don't know if you noticed in the video, she had me cracking up because it's like her style of yoga. I see why she's so popular. Her style of yoga is so casual, regular, degular girl who just happens to do yoga. Is basically, if I was to become a yoga instructor, she has that kind of a personality where she's like, look, it is what it is. We doing this today. Like, that was her whole entire mantra. She didn't use any technical terms, none of that. She's like, let's get into it. And she was doing, and the thing that I was dying and cracking up about is those who've done hip openers before, or if you haven't done hip openers before, I will share this. They're very intense because, well, for one, most people sit down a lot, including me. Because, you know, in most cases, most people have office jobs where you sit down a lot. Or if you watch a lot of TV, or if you're on the computer a lot, you're sitting down a lot. Also, in my case, I'm also a distance runner. I do that as a hobby, and I also cycle. Again, a lot of things that the hips are just getting toyed with and played with. And your hips, also, besides the physical attributes of the hips, that's where your emotions within your body, that's where the stress goes, to your hips. So if you're stressed out and life is lifing, a lot of emotions come out when you do like your child's poses, pigeon poses, things like that. It can be an emotional pose. The hip openers can be very emotional. And I know that from just doing yoga for years and whatnot. But also, what was cracking me up, especially about the fact that, you know, that's a thing, she was literally saying the things I think a lot of times, but I don't say out loud because I don't want to get, I know I'm not monetized yet, but I don't want to get demonetized. She was saying like F when she was in those poses because they're intense and they are not really painful. They're just more or less like, you feel it, especially a pigeon pose. You be feeling it. You just feel it just rushing in and out of your body. And she was just cracking me up. She was so extra that I was just like trying so hard not to laugh, but she was just cracking me up. She's so good. And then also when we were doing the alternate version of the one-legged pigeon, we were doing the seated version of it, which, by the way, I've never really done it that way before. I've always done it where we're laying our back and doing that kind of pigeon. But anyway, neither here nor there. That's just a side note. Her version of it that we were doing, where we have like the bolster or pillow that we're sitting on top of and then bending down or not bending down. She showed us what it looked like to bend down, but that was towards the end. That's why on the other side, you saw that did it towards the end, because on the first side, she's like, that's not what we're doing today. We're just gonna stay here. And it was cracking me up. Like, so I'm definitely gonna put her in the description. And yes, I'm definitely gonna be reviewing more of her videos in the future. She's added to the rotation of the ones that I review like a lot. So yep, adding her to the rotation. It's just gonna be in that rotation. But anyway, that concludes the video. I just wanted to share why she was amazing. I highly suggest you check out her channel. She does get a lot of views, clearly, because she's like the most face-wise recognizable Black yogi out there because of, you know, her niche thing that she has going on. Because the other thing was, when we were doing the seated version, she was referring to like, hey, you know, I got a belly, so you got to move that to make the adjustments. And Most, at least if you're from the United States, most Americans can identify with that because most of us in the United States, including myself, are slightly overweight or morbidly, in some cases, morbidly obese. I'm overweight. I used to not be. I actually used to be morbidly obese, and then I went from being morbidly obese to overweight to athletic to now we're back on the overweight part. But neither here nor there. Bodies change. All I know is I'm healthy. So anyway, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel to get anything out of the content. It's Cheryl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.